We all take oaths and make promises, but how many times we actually fulfill them? This story of Chanakya will tell how powerful an oath could be and how it can change your life. In the time of Chanakya, kings were often educated in philosophical matters and given a spiritual foundation right from their days in the Gurukul, which were residential schools where people lived with their guru to ensure that the young princes didn't forget these basics once they were seated on the throne. So it was a culture in that time that the ruling king and his ministers would often invite scholars and experts for annual philosophical discussions. A king whose name was Dhanananda also used to host such events in his court, but he also used to think that they were just a waste of time. As these practices were started by his ancestors, he had to maintain the tradition. Once, such an event was organized with many scholars for new ideas, but Dhanananda was absent from there. Without the king, the discussions couldn't be started. The prime minister in the Dhanananda's court was Amatya, who was a great scholar of Vedas and was respected for his knowledge and wisdom. He was the king's most trusted advisor and the de facto ruler of the kingdom. Amatya realized that Magad would lose its respect among the intellectual community because of Dhanananda's absence. So he rushed to Dhanananda's chamber and found him carousing with women. He said to the king, "Maharaj, the wise men and scholars are waiting for you in the court. Please accompany me. As Magad needs its king, you can continue with your activities later." Listening this, Dhanananda got angry and said, "Amatya, if anyone else had said this to me, I would have had him executed. No one has the right to command the king. But as I admire you, I will come." But after some time in the royal court, Dhanananda began losing his interest in the discussions and even started to ridicule the scholars. Acharya Chanakya, who was also seated among the wise men, couldn't take it anymore and he decided to leave. When Dhanananda saw him walking out, he felt insulted. Asking the gatekeepers to stop Chanakya, he demanded, "If you had to leave like this, why did you come at all?" Chanakya replied in a firm voice, "I came here to see if Magad had kept the lamp of knowledge burning, and if we could together destroy Alexander's imminent attack. But I have realized my mistake, and I don't want to waste more time here." Listening this, Dhanananda got furious, and he said in thundering voice, "Throw this man out of my kingdom." With this command, guards grabbed Chanakya's shikha and threw him out of the court. Shikha of a scholar is symbolic in nature. It represents his devotion to his guru, God, and the scriptures. And so, regarding this as the ultimate insult, Chanakya took his deadly oath. "I will not tie this shikha until the day I remove you from the throne of Magad." Until that time, Chanakya was only a teacher, without power, position, or any army under his command. And he had taken an oath to dethrone one of the most powerful kings in the country. But simply taking an oath is not enough. One must work towards fulfilling it. And so Chanakya would look at his shikha and remind himself of his vow every day. And eventually he created history by dethroning Dhanananda and crowning Chandragupta as the Emperor of India, thus marking the beginning of Maurya dynasty. So my friends, now we can understand the power of an oath. if it is followed by strategy and commitment. For example, losing weight, waking up early, finishing a project, or starting a new one. We start with much enthusiasm, but then lose track. We either become lethargic or forget our goal. Making promise is easy, but real challenge is to work on it. The only real problem is the lack of commitment. So be committed to your words like Chanakya.